In a quiet Texas town, the sun filters through the dusty windows of a small, cluttered garage. Inside, 25-year-old mechanic Alex works tirelessly among scattered tools and metal scraps. A faint radio plays in the background as he wipes his hands, unaware that today a life-changing visit is about to arrive. Outside, a worn-out wheelchair rolls slowly toward the garage, carrying 10-year-old Mia, a girl dreaming of walking, and her anxious, tearful mother. Little do they know, Alex's skill and kindness will soon turn hope into reality, creating a moment of joy and transformation that will change their lives forever. Like, share, and subscribe, and tell us where you're watching from. Now let's get started. In a quiet, dusty town in Texas, 25-year-old mechanic Alex worked tirelessly in his small garage. The place smelled of oil, metal, and the faint scent of old leather seats. Tools of every kind were scattered across the wooden workbenches, and sunlight streamed in through grimy windows, catching the floating particles of dust in golden beams. Alex had grown up in this town, learning the craft from his father, and he had a reputation for being honest and skilled. People often came to him for repairs they couldn't afford elsewhere, knowing he treated everyone with fairness. That morning, he wiped his hands on a rag and listened to the soft hum of an old radio as he prepared for another day of work. At precisely 9 o'clock, the bell above the garage door jingled, signaling the arrival of a visitor. Alex looked up to see a small girl in a wheelchair being pushed slowly by her mother. The girl was no older than 10, with big brown eyes filled with a mixture of curiosity and nervousness. Her wheelchair was battered and worn, the wheels crooked and squeaking with every movement. Alex noticed the faint tremble in her hands as she reached for the armrests, gripping them tightly. Her mother, dressed elegantly, smiled politely, but her eyes revealed worry, a silent plea for help. Alex quickly set aside his wrench and approached them, greeting them warmly. "Good morning. How can I help you today?" he asked. The girl Mia hesitated before speaking. My legs don't work," she said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Alex crouched to her level, nodding gently, encouraging her to continue. Her mother explained that Mia had been born with a rare condition that left her unable to walk. They had tried everything, physical therapy, specialized equipment, but nothing had given her the freedom she longed for. Today, they had brought her old wheelchair, hoping it could be repaired, though Alex quickly noticed it was beyond simple fixes. The chair was cracked in multiple places, the wheels bent, and the metal frame rusted in several spots. Alex could see the hope in Mia's eyes, and it struck him deeply. He took a careful look at the wheelchair, running his fingers over the cold metal, inspecting every joint and connection. He could feel the wear and tear of years of use, the countless times it had carried Mia around the house, parks, and streets. He turned to the mother and said, "This is more than just a repair. I think we need to create something new, something custom for her. I can make prosthetic legs that will allow her to stand and even walk, if she's willing to try." Mia's eyes widened in disbelief, a mixture of hope and excitement flickering across her face. Her mother's jaw dropped, unable to hide her astonishment. Alex smiled gently, sensing their hesitation and nervousness. "I'll do everything I can," he promised. Alex spent the next hour asking questions, measuring Mia's legs and observing her movements. He noted the way she shifted in her wheelchair, the strength in her upper body, and the smallest gestures of determination in her fingers and toes. Every detail mattered. He wanted to create prosthetic legs that were comfortable, durable, and functional. He sketched out rough designs on a piece of scrap paper, his mind racing with possibilities. The challenge excited him. It was unlike anything he had done before. He wanted to give Mia more than just mobility. He wanted to give her the joy of independence, the simple pleasure of standing and walking on her own. The mother watched in quiet awe as Alex went to work. He pulled out metal rods, gears, and screws, laying them neatly on the workbench. He spoke softly to Mia, explaining each tool and part, making her feel involved in the process. "These will be your legs," he said, pointing to a pair of lightweight metal rods. Mia touched them tentatively, her fingers brushing the smooth surface. "Will I really be able to walk?" she asked, her voice filled with both hope and doubt. Alex knelt beside her, holding her small hands in his. "Yes, Mia, we'll start slowly, step by step. You'll see for yourself soon." Hours passed as Alex cut, shaped and welded pieces of metal together. The garage was filled with the clanging of tools, the hiss of welding, and the soft hum of the radio. Sweat dripped down his forehead, but he barely noticed. His focus was entirely on creating the perfect prosthetic legs for Mia. He added soft padding to the footrests, adjustable joints for the knees, and a secure harness system that would allow her to balance safely. Every adjustment was made with precision, ensuring comfort and stability. He double-checked every connection, testing the strength and flexibility of the metal. In his mind, he could already see Mia taking her first steps. As evening approached, Alex finally stepped back to admire his work. The prosthetic legs were complete, sleek and functional, a combination of metal and padded materials. He tested them himself, pressing down to ensure stability, flexing the joints to simulate walking movements. Satisfied, he called Mia and her mother over. The girl's eyes lit up when she saw the legs, a mixture of disbelief and joy. "Are these for me?" she asked, almost whispering. Alex nodded, smiling warmly. "Yes, Mia, these are for you. Tomorrow, we'll help you take your first steps." Mia's mother embraced Alex, tears streaming down her face. "I don't know how to thank you," she whispered. "You've given her hope. Something I thought was impossible." Alex shook his head modestly. "Just seeing her smile is thanks enough," he said, looking at Mia's beaming face. The girl hugged him tightly, her small arms barely reaching around his waist, and Alex felt a surge of emotion he had never experienced before. This was more than just mechanical work. It was changing a life. That night, Alex stayed in the garage, checking his work one last time, making small tweaks and adjustments to ensure everything was perfect. He felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness for tomorrow. Would Mia be able to stand? Would she walk without fear? He reminded himself that even small steps would be progress. He knew she had courage, and he had done everything in his power to create the tools she needed. The garage grew quiet as the sun set, leaving Alex surrounded by the faint scent of metal and oil, and a sense of quiet accomplishment that warmed him more than any heater could. The next morning, Mia arrived early, her wheelchair pushed by her mother. She looked around the garage with wide eyes, barely able to contain her excitement. Alex helped her transfer carefully onto the prosthetic legs, securing every strap and checking the joints once more. He held her hands firmly, ready to guide her. Mia took a tentative step forward, wobbling slightly, but with Alex's support, she took another and then another. A smile spread across her face as she realized she was standing on her own. Her mother gasped, tears filling her eyes, unable to speak. Alex encouraged Mia gently, each step bringing more confidence. By the time they left the garage that morning, Mia was walking steadily, laughing and skipping with joy. The morning sunlight poured through the garage windows as Mia stood, wobbling slightly, on her new prosthetic legs. Alex held her hands, steadying her as she tried to find her balance. Her small feet shifted cautiously against the concrete floor, the padded metal of the prosthetics moving with surprising smoothness. Mia's mother watched from the doorway, tears forming in her eyes as she struggled to comprehend the sight of her daughter standing. For years, she had feared Mia would never walk, never experience the freedom that comes naturally to other children. Now the impossible seemed possible. Alex smiled at Mia, encouraging her gently, reminding her to trust her strength. With Alex's patient guidance, Mia took her first real steps. At first, she leaned heavily on his arms, tentative and unsure, but determination shone in her eyes. She took one step, then another, and Alex clapped softly with every successful movement. "That's it, Mia. You're doing amazing," he said. Her face lit up with pride and excitement. Each movement was small but significant, a triumph over years of limitations. The sound of her laughter echoed through the garage, mixing with the soft clatter of the metal legs. Alex felt a deep warmth in his chest, knowing that his work had created this moment of pure joy. After several minutes, Mia began to take steps more confidently, adjusting to the rhythm of walking with her new legs. Alex guided her across the floor, occasionally letting go for a second or two to see her maintain balance independently. She took cautious turns, tested her weight shifting from one leg to the other, and even attempted a tiny hop, laughing as she felt the lift. Her mother approached, her eyes wet but shining with pride, and offered her hands to Mia. With Alex's encouragement, Mia took steps toward her mother, feeling the sensation of moving freely for the first time. The moment felt surreal, yet completely real, a life-changing breakthrough. Neighbors and locals began gathering outside the garage, drawn by the sight of the girl walking confidently. Word had spread quickly about Alex's efforts to create custom prosthetics for Mia, and curiosity mixed with admiration. People whispered among themselves, amazed at the craftsmanship and dedication. Some had seen him fix engines, cars, and farm equipment, but this was different. This was personal. This was transformative. Mia, oblivious to the growing audience, focused on her movements, guided by Alex's careful instruction. Every step grew more assured, her balance improving as she learned to trust the prosthetic legs as extensions of her own body. By mid-morning, Mia was walking independently, her confidence surging with each stride. Alex encouraged her to try small turns, slight runs, and even gentle jumps, adjusting the legs as needed. Her laughter filled the garage, a melody of joy and freedom. Her mother, watching every step, finally let herself smile fully, overwhelmed by the sight of her daughter's progress. "I can't believe this," she whispered to Alex, tears streaming down her face. "You've changed her life." Alex shrugged modestly, smiling warmly. "She's the brave one. I just made tools to help her find her strength." After several hours of practice, Alex led Mia to the driveway, a stretch of smooth concrete perfect for testing her new mobility outdoors. The sunlight reflected off the metal legs, and the gentle Texas breeze carried the faint scent of freshly cut grass. Mia stepped carefully at first, her mother following closely behind. With every confident stride, she grew bolder, turning and twirling, reveling in the sensation of movement. Neighbors stopped to watch, some clapping softly, others whispering in awe. Mia laughed freely, a sound that had been absent from her life for too long. Alex watched, satisfied and proud, knowing that his late nights in the garage had been worth every second. By afternoon, Mia was running lightly, her movements fluid and natural. Alex assisted her with more complex maneuvers, teaching her to navigate small obstacles and uneven surfaces. Each success boosted her confidence further. Her mother took her hand, walking alongside her daughter, both of them smiling and laughing. Alex felt a sense of fulfillment unlike anything he had ever experienced. This was more than mechanics. It was creation, transformation, and hope manifested in metal and determination. He realized that while he had provided the tools, Mia's courage and resilience were the real driving forces behind her newfound mobility. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, the garage door remained open, letting in warm evening light. Mia's mother, overwhelmed with gratitude, hugged Alex tightly. "Thank you, Alex," she said, her voice choked with emotion. "You've given her the gift of freedom. I'll never forget this." Alex smiled humbly, shaking his head. "It's her courage that makes this possible," he replied. Mia joined the embrace, her small arms around Alex's waist. The moment was intimate, a connection forged through effort, trust, and compassion. The garage, filled with tools and metal, had become a place of miracles. Later, as the family prepared to leave, Alex gave Mia final instructions on adjusting and caring for her prosthetic legs. He demonstrated how to check the joints, tighten screws, and maintain the padding for comfort. Mia listened intently, absorbing every word, while her mother took notes and asked questions. Alex's attention to detail ensured that Mia would continue walking safely long after she left the garage. He felt a sense of responsibility but also pride, knowing that he had equipped her not just physically, but mentally, to embrace her newfound independence. Before leaving, Mia ran a few final steps across the driveway, laughing freely, her legs moving gracefully. Her mother filmed the moment on her phone, tears glistening in her eyes. Alex watched silently, content with the knowledge that his work had made a lasting impact. The bond formed between him and Mia, strengthened by trust and patience, would remain with him forever. As they drove away, Alex felt a profound sense of accomplishment, knowing that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness could ripple into life-changing miracles. That evening, Alex returned to his garage, exhausted but fulfilled. He wiped down the tools, organized the workbenches, and took a moment to reflect. Today had been more than a day of mechanical work. It had been a day of hope, courage, and transformation. Mia's laughter echoed in his mind, a reminder of why he worked tirelessly, why he cared so deeply. He realized that helping someone else find their strength was one of life's most rewarding experiences. As night fell over the quiet Texas town, Alex closed the garage door, smiling, ready for whatever challenges tomorrow might bring. That evening, just as the sun dipped low over the Texas horizon, a sleek private jet landed at the small local airstrip nearby. Alex was wiping down tools in his garage when he noticed the unusual sound of jet engines. Curiosity drew him to the doorway, and he watched in disbelief as a shiny aircraft taxied gracefully onto the tarmac. Moments later, a limousine pulled up, and Mia's mother stepped out, elegantly dressed, but with tears glistening in her eyes. Alex froze, realizing this was no ordinary visit. Something told him that what was about to happen would be life-changing, not just for Mia, but for him as well. Mia's mother approached the garage, her eyes locked on Alex with a mixture of gratitude and admiration. "Alex," she said, her voice shaking, "I had to see the person who made this possible. I wanted to thank you properly." She gestured toward Mia, who stood proudly on her prosthetic legs, moving with a confidence that had been unimaginable just a day ago. The transformation was remarkable. Mia walked toward her mother without hesitation, smiling broadly. Her laughter echoed in the air, and Alex felt a lump form in his throat as he witnessed the joy he had helped create. The mother explained that she had flown in on the private jet to surprise Alex for his selflessness and dedication. She had wanted to show him the impact of his work in person, not just through words or pictures. Alex, humble as ever, shook his head. "I didn't do it for recognition," he said softly. "I just wanted to help Mia walk. That's all that matters." The mother smiled, touched by his sincerity, and nodded. "You've done more than help," she said. "You've changed her life, and ours forever." The moment felt surreal, bridging the gap between a modest garage in a small town and the grandeur of the world outside. Mia, curious and excited, stepped closer to Alex, her small hands gripping the edges of her prosthetic legs. "I can walk, Alex. I really can," she exclaimed, spinning carefully in a circle. Her movements were cautious but confident, each step displaying newfound strength and freedom. Alex bent down, holding her hands lightly, encouraging her with a gentle smile. "Yes, Mia, you're amazing. Look at you go." Her mother clapped softly, tears streaming down her cheeks as she recorded the moment on her phone. The sight of her daughter walking independently, laughing and twirling, was more than she had ever dreamed of witnessing. Inside the jet, the atmosphere was surprisingly intimate. The plush seats, polished floors, and ambient lighting contrasted sharply with the dusty, oil-scented garage where Alex worked. But it didn't matter. Here, in this luxurious setting, Alex saw the culmination of his efforts. Mia demonstrated her mobility confidently, walking around the cabin with excitement. Every step she took seemed to defy the years of limitations she had endured. Her mother stood nearby, beaming with pride, while Alex watched quietly, feeling a sense of fulfillment so deep it was almost overwhelming. He realized that sometimes even small acts of kindness could create extraordinary ripple effects. Mia's mother knelt beside Alex, taking his hands in hers. "I can't thank you enough," she said, her voice trembling. "You've given Mia a gift I thought was impossible. You didn't just build prosthetic legs, you built hope, confidence, and independence. Alex felt a wave of emotion wash over him. I just did what I could, he replied, trying to stay composed. But the truth was, the recognition, the gratitude, and the joy he saw in Mia's eyes made every late night and every careful measurement worth it. He realized that helping someone else find their strength was more rewarding than anything he had experienced in his life. Mia, now completely confident, walked back and forth across the jet cabin, testing her balance and flexibility. She giggled as Alex guided her through small turns and steps, occasionally letting her move independently to build her confidence. "Look, Mom, I'm walking all by myself," she exclaimed. Her mother's eyes glistened with tears, and she quickly captured every step on her phone, preserving memories of a moment she had once thought impossible. Alex watched silently, humbled by the transformation he had helped make possible. Mia's courage, determination, and trust in him had turned his mechanical skills into something profoundly human. As the jet prepared for departure, Mia's mother extended an invitation to Alex. She wanted him to accompany them briefly on the flight to see how Mia adjusted in different spaces and to witness the joy she experienced in a world beyond the garage. Alex hesitated at first, unsure if he belonged in such luxury, but the mother insisted. "You deserve to see the results of your hard work," she said warmly. Alex agreed, stepping into the jet cautiously. Mia ran ahead, showing him the space as she confidently navigated with her prosthetic legs. The experience was surreal, yet deeply satisfying. During the flight, Mia continued exploring, walking carefully along the cabin aisle, testing her mobility and laughing freely. Alex followed closely, assisting only when necessary. Her mother watched, amazed, at the child's transformation and the effectiveness of Alex's work. "I never imagined she'd be this independent so quickly," she said. Alex smiled, feeling both proud and humble. "She's the brave one," he said. "I just gave her the tools." Mia hugged Alex tightly, pressing her small face against his chest. The bond between them, formed through trust and effort, had grown stronger than either of them had anticipated. As the plane descended toward the city, Mia's laughter and confident steps continued to fill the cabin. Alex felt a profound sense of satisfaction, realizing that this moment marked more than a single achievement. It was the beginning of a new chapter in Mia's life. Her freedom, joy, and confidence were gifts that no money could buy, and he had played a small yet pivotal role in making them possible. The journey back to the garage would be symbolic, a reminder that true impact doesn't require grandeur, just skill, heart, and compassion. When the jet finally landed, Alex stepped back onto the tarmac, the cool evening air filling his lungs. Mia ran ahead, her prosthetic legs moving smoothly and naturally, while her mother followed, her eyes shining with pride. Alex watched them, feeling a mixture of humility and accomplishment. He realized that the real reward wasn't the praise, the jet, or the acknowledgement. It was witnessing Mia's newfound independence, the laughter that echoed in his mind, and the sense that he had made a difference in someone's life. As the family waved goodbye, Alex returned to his garage, ready to continue helping others, carrying the joy of today with him forever.